Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today's topic is something that affects a lot of people in our society, and that is the dark side of debt. It can be easy to fall into the traps of credit cards, loans, and other forms of debt, but it's important to understand the consequences and how to get back on track. In this video, we'll be discussing the dangers of debt, how to avoid the traps, and tips for getting out of debt. The danger of debt. Debt is a double-edged sword. On one hand, it can be a useful tool for financing large purchases, such as a home or car. On the other hand, it can quickly spiral out of control and become a significant burden. This is what we call the dark side of debt. One of the most significant dangers of debt is the potential to accumulate high interest rates. High interest rates can make it difficult to make payments, which can lead to missed payments and penalties. This can quickly snowball, making it challenging to catch up on payments and causing significant financial strain. Another danger of debt is the impact it can have on your credit score. Late or missed payments can damage your credit score, making it harder to obtain credit in the future. This can lead to a cycle of debt where you're unable to get out of debt due to a poor credit score. Debt can also cause significant stress and anxiety. The pressure to make payments and the fear of falling behind can be overwhelming. This can lead to feelings of hopelessness and despair, which can have a negative impact on mental health and well-being. Debt can also put a strain on relationships. Financial struggles can cause tension and arguments, and the pressure to make payments can lead to taking on additional jobs or working long hours, which can take away from quality time with loved ones. In extreme cases, debt can lead to bankruptcy, which can have significant long-term consequences. Bankruptcy can affect your credit score for up to 10 years, making it difficult to obtain credit or loans in the future. It can also affect your ability to rent an apartment, get a job, or even obtain insurance. In conclusion, the dark side of debt is real, and it's important to be cautious when taking on debt. It's essential to have a solid plan for repayment and to seek help if you're struggling to make payments or are feeling overwhelmed. Remember, debt can have long-lasting effects, but with careful planning and financial management, it's possible to avoid the traps and get back on track. How to avoid the traps. Avoiding the traps of debt is crucial to maintain financial stability and avoid the negative consequences associated with debt. Here are some ways to avoid the traps of debt. 1. Budgeting. Creating a budget is the first step towards avoiding the traps of debt. By budgeting, you can track your expenses and ensure that you're not overspending. 2. Emergency fund. Creating an emergency fund is another way to avoid the traps of debt. This fund should be used for unexpected expenses, such as a car repair or medical bill. Having an emergency fund can prevent you from using credit cards or taking out loans to pay for these expenses. 3. Saving for large purchases. Rather than relying on credit to finance large purchases, it's better to save up and pay for them in cash. This will help you avoid the high interest rates associated with loans and credit cards. 4. Paying off debt. Paying off debt should be a top priority. If you want to avoid the traps of debt, make a plan to pay off your debts as quickly as possible, starting with the highest interest debt first. 5. Avoiding high interest debt. Avoiding high interest debt, such as payday loans or credit cards with high interest rates, is another way to avoid the traps of debt. If you must use credit, look for credit cards with low interest rates or use a personal loan with a fixed interest rate. 6. Seeking professional help. If you're struggling with debt, seeking professional help is another way to avoid the traps of debt. Financial advisors and credit counselors can help you develop a plan to get out of debt and avoid future debt traps. 7. Live within your means. One of the main reasons people fall into debt is because they spend more than they earn. Living within your means is an important part of avoiding debt traps. This means not only staying within your budget, but also avoiding the temptation to overspend on things you don't need. 8. Avoid impulse purchases. Impulse purchases can quickly add up and lead to unnecessary debt. To avoid impulse purchases, try to stick to a shopping list and avoid browsing online or in stores when you don't need anything specific. 9. Negotiate bills. Negotiating bills such as your cable, phone, or internet bill can save you money each month. This can help you free up extra cash to pay down debt or save for the future. 10. Focus on increasing income. Increasing your income can help you avoid debt traps by providing more financial stability. Consider taking on a part-time job, starting a side hustle, or asking for a raise at work to increase your income and reduce the temptation to rely on credit to make ends meet. In conclusion, avoiding the traps of debt requires careful planning and financial management. By creating a budget, building an emergency fund, saving for large purchases, paying off debt, avoiding high-interest debt, and seeking professional help, you can avoid the negative consequences associated with debt and maintain financial stability. Tips for getting out of debt. Getting out of debt can be a challenging but rewarding process. Here are some tips to help you get out of debt. 1. Use the debt snowball method. The debt snowball method involves paying off your debts from smallest to largest. By focusing on paying off small debts first, you can gain momentum and motivation to tackle larger debts. 2. Consider debt settlement. Debt settlement involves negotiating with your creditors to settle your debt for less than what you owe. While this option can impact your credit score, it may be a viable option for those struggling with high levels of debt. 3. Avoid new debt. While paying off your existing debt, it's important to avoid taking on new debt. This means avoiding new credit cards or loans until you've paid off your existing debt. 4. Prioritize your debt. If you have multiple debts, prioritize them based on the interest rate and payoff amount. By prioritizing high-interest debt first, you can save money on interest charges and pay off your debt faster. 5. Sell unwanted items. Selling unwanted items can be a great way to generate extra cash to put towards your debt. Consider selling items online or in person, such as clothing, electronics, or furniture. 6. Cut back on luxuries. While paying off debt, it's important to cut back on luxury expenses. This includes things like dining out, vacations, and expensive hobbies. Cutting back on these expenses can help free up extra cash to put towards your debt. 7. Celebrate milestones. Paying off debt can be a long and challenging process. It's important to celebrate milestones along the way, such as paying off a credit card or reaching a certain dollar amount. Celebrating these milestones can help you stay motivated and focused on your goal. In conclusion, getting out of debt requires a combination of smart financial management and dedication. By using the debt snowball method, considering debt settlement, avoiding new debt, prioritizing your debt, selling unwanted items, cutting back on luxuries, and celebrating milestones, you can take control of your finances and achieve financial freedom. In conclusion, debt can be a challenging and stressful aspect of personal finance, but it doesn't have to define your financial future. By understanding the dangers of debt, avoiding the common traps, and implementing the tips and strategies we've discussed, you can take control of your finances and work towards a debt-free future. Remember, it's never too late to start taking steps towards financial freedom, so don't hesitate to take action today. Thank you for watching The Dark Side of Debt: How to Avoid the Traps and Get Back on Track. We hope you found this video informative and helpful. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to get more good content like this.